Would you climb a 3,000-foot rock face with just a rope and a harness to keep you from falling to the ground? I would argue that most people probably wouldn't, and I know that I'm one of them. And yet people like Alex Honnold and Adam Ondra both have completed the 3,000-foot climb of the rock face commonly known as El Capitan in Yosemite National Park, with Alex Honnold doing the climb without any safety equipment at all. During this speech, I intend to tell you about the different types of indoor rock climbing and outdoor rock climbing, as well as how the sport was brought into the Olympics. When first getting into rock climbing my freshman year of college, I was blown away by the sport of it all and began to want to learn all about the different terminology and moves that these amazing athletes were doing as they were climbing. As I continued to participate in climbing by going to the rock climbing gym nearly every day, I learned more and more about the sport and its different types of climbing, mainly that they are broken down into two categories of indoor and outdoor climbing, with each having their own subcategories. Indoor climbing included the subcategories of top roping, bouldering, and lead climbing. Top roping is when a person climbs a taller wall, usually 25 to 50 feet. In this type of climbing, there's a rope hanging from the top of the wall that keeps you secure the whole way up with the help of another individual holding the other side of the rope. This is known as belaying. Bouldering is when a person climbs a much shorter wall, usually 10 to 15 feet, without any ropes or clips to prevent you from falling. In this type of climbing, there's usually a large squishy pad at the bottom called the fall pad to prevent you from injuring yourself. The last type of indoor climbing is lead climbing. This type of climbing, the rope is not already placed at the top of the climbing route like it is when top roping. In this method, you have to clip the rope into different clips that are usually every 5 to 10 feet along the route. Now that we have the subcategories of indoor climbing, I'm going to tell you about the different subcategories of outdoor climbing. There are many different types of outdoor climbing, including outdoor versions of the same methods used during indoor climbing, but the most popular versions of outdoor climbing include free soloing and free climbing. Free climbing is where a person climbs a rock face with the protection, but not aid, of rope and clips to pull through the rope through that are already transfixed into the side of the rock face. According to an article written by Andrew Bichart for National Geographic in 2016, this was the type of climbing that Adam Andre used when scaling the El Capitan in Yosemite. The other most popular form is free soloing. This is much more dangerous as the person is climbing the rock side without any safety gear at all, including rope, to prevent them from falling. This is the kind of method that Alex Honnold used when climbing the El Capitan back in 2017, according to an article written by Spencer Hall for SBN Nation. Now that you know the different basic types of indoor and outdoor climbing, let's talk about how the sport of rock climbing was introduced into the Olympics in 2016. In 2016, the Olympics finally announced that they were going to be adding rock climbing into their 2020 roster for the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. This was written in an article by First Ascent, Climbing and Fitness. The official Olympics website states that the category of sport climbing, which is also a term used for competitive rock climbing, will include 40 athletes in two groups of 20 that will all compete in different types of disciplines of climbing, bouldering, lead climbing, and speed climbing. In an article written by Forbes by Michelle Burton, she states that the interest in rock climbing gym memberships has actually increased since the 2020 Summer Olympics, with more people looking up climbing and actually going to places like El Cap rock climbing gyms all around the country. With this increase in interest since the 2020 Olympics, who knows how many others will also join in this amazing sport. In this video, I shared with you the different categories and subcategories of indoor and outdoor rock climbing, as well as the introduction of the competitive rock climbing into the Summer Olympics in 2020. Rock climbing is an incredible sport with many different facets that most anyone can enjoy so long as you're not too afraid of heights. So let me ask you, if you had the opportunity to go to a rock climbing gym and try out this invigorating sport yourself, would you?